I turn my heart to the only refuge and protection, the holy Dharma.
Oh, beautiful people. So today, I just want to share something in relationship with the first stage of humanity's awakening and just talk about where we are as a race when it comes to our sexual energy, where it comes to how much, how precious, and how this affects us actually, just that. And in this, I want to give you a little snapshot in terms of the understanding of the ageless wisdom viewpoint, esoteric psychology viewpoint in relationship for this first stage of awakening that has been beginning for the last 80 years, probably, if you look at it from the perspective of the Age of Aquarius coming in, the beginning, the dawning of, and how far we have to go and what we're doing and how this is going to affect the coming golden age. So basically there is a very profound design that is unfolding through all of us, and it's very much based on our chakras and our meridian system, our minor chakras, and the law of harmlessness. The first stage of us waking up is where we all get to the point where we realize, oh my God, I am so bored with myself. I'm so sick of this level of self-absorption. I can't bear that I am aware of this program that's constantly judging me, berating me, putting me down, and therefore judging others, berating others and putting them down, thinking that we know, we all have this program. It's like deep within the collective psyche of humanity. We've all inherited it. And at that very first stage of our wake up, when we get really still within ourselves, we become very aware of this program that we have inherited, that's been imprinted, that's amplified through marketing, that's very clever to control you, to keep you feeling you're not enough and that you need something outside of you. But what this does and how it's affecting your sexual energy is when basically thoughts are all connected to the throat chakra. And when the throat chakra is going anti-clockwise with all this negative, critical thinking, it corresponds to our sacral chakra, and it pushes down and presses onto the sacral chakra. And that then activates the sacral chakra in a state of a lust, a need for something outside of itself. And when the sacral chakra is going anti-clockwise through this level of negativity, then it's in this wanton desire, this need for something outside of itself to bring satisfaction. So that's whether that's a compulsion and an addiction to wanting an orgasm, or whether it translates into materialism, compulsive shopping, needing something. It's like an itchy place. And the stronger the negativity in the throat center, the stronger the anti-clockwise spiral, the stronger it impacts our sacral chakra, pushing it down through the base. And then you go into debauchery, complete mess when it comes to relationships. I mean, it's just a mess. And then we're talking about sexual distortions, deviances, violation. And right now on this earth, we are being imbued with what's called the seventh ray, coming from the seventh solar lord. This seventh ray of energy is the ray of light, which is related to cosmic divine order, ceremonial white magic, and it activates the sacral chakra, purifying it and cleansing it. But as it's activating it, it's also stimulating it, and humanity is in this strong, difficult moment where there is a collective, sad to say, amongst our younger people, I say that because I'm 61, but collective addiction to pornography, and even worse than that, to child pornography. Like how that gate opened, I don't know, but it's here, it's part of this. So I have to be really honest, I am very interested in bringing inspiration about how's it going to look to come into right relationship with your sexual energy, because my path in Vajrayana, in Janang lineage as well, Tibetan Buddhism, is a path of the highest level of purification, which is the purification of our sexual energy. All evolution is the purification of our sexual energy. That's a fact. For us to come into union with the one, to come home, to go through an alchemical marriage where our sexual energy is then risen up through the heart chakra, up to the throat. That's a really important first stage of awakening for all human beings. And all human beings have to get to this point for humanity to even evolve into what's called right relationship, the alignment of the throat center to the sacral chakra. Just imagine this. So there are some teachings about it, but there's not a lot spoken in a way that's completely relatable. If you're interested, I would love to point you in the direction to study things like Tapestry of the Gods 1 and 2, Esoteric Psychology 1 and 2. This has been a very deep study of mine, and I am not even presenting myself as somebody to be followed or some teacher or guru that's ahead of you. I also have been in this massive purification in this lifetime with this whole subject. I mean, gosh, I've come through the dark, so I really understand it. But I also really understand how the unconsciousness of misuse of sexual energy has affected the children of the generations younger than me, 40s, 30s, 20s. And we have got a crisis of mental health. And our young people are exposed to a lot of derogatory crap that scares me as a mother and a grandmother. It scares me because if our young girls are thinking that they've got to behave like a porn star in the bedroom and our young boys are addicted to pornography, how are they going to know how to drop into intimacy, into me, I see, to be in union with the one, with another? Where are we taking them? What are we allowing them to be exposed to? So I'm very interested in bringing this conversation to the forefront to help people to not feel guilty, not feel bad, but look at how can they come into a state of embracing their divinity, the stainless purity of the true self that is eternal. So interested in inspiring this to journey back to our natural primordial wisdom state that we are, to understand how sacred we are and how sacred every drop of our sexual energy actually is. Because when our sexual energy is risen, it is magnificent. It's like a fountain of absolute creativity that becomes a healing force of light and vast level of inspiration. And it begins to radiate through our hands, through our feet, through our hearts, right through our being. And that's just the first stage of wake up. So I just wanted to bring this inspiration today, just saying, like, imagine in the next 2, 3, 4 generations. Imagine if you were inspired enough to have conscious conception, that you waited, you took the time to get to know your lover, to feel that you have a solid friendship, that you have the deepest respect for each other's souls, and that you want to engage in conscious conception, and that you have a spiritual commitment to hold an auric egg around the child that comes through you, that you can hold them in absolute love, to keep reflecting back to them love. Like, that's a very different picture than what we've got today. I've interviewed thousands of people over the years, and most of us have come through a lot of dysfunction, a lot of family arguments, withdrawal, withholding, emotional blockages, fathers that don't feel that they have the ability to communicate what's in their hearts, don't even know how to connect to their hearts. Women that emasculate the masculine and then aren't present to nourish their sons and honor their sons and imbue their sons with the tenderest, softest, sacred touch. And then all these women in frustration because they want to be with somebody who can meet them emotionally and spiritually and in the most sacred way. And yet there's this massive wake up happening, and we're not even in this point where most women can feel like they want to even say what it is that they want or would love with all their hearts. And when they do, it probably comes across in a way that's not an invitation and more of making somebody feel bad for how they actually are. So it's difficult. It's a difficult time. So if you're interested, please tune in, because I am going to create a little mini series here so that you can begin an exploration of these subjects and stop beating yourself up and stop thinking that you're wrong, and to deepen in the attunement to make the space for honoring your sexual life force energy, because when it's risen, it becomes a telepathic force that is incredible. So I'm really looking forward to share everything that I understand in a most condensed way. And please, if you're interested in studying with me more, do check out my website. And meanwhile, I send you so much love on this beautiful, glorious day.
The only refuge and protection, the holy Dharma.